Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's going to be a sweet sensation this Sunday, live on the WWE Network for just $9.99. New subscribers, though, it is free for you. As we have WWE Summerslam 2018, the 31st edition of SummerSlam. We're going to take a look back. Hey, I'm getting a lot of hand with my voice. Hi, guys. What is going on? Once again, guys, this is the Club of the Man 1993. I know I promised this video today and a special live stream, but got busy, had a lot of other things to take care of today. And then I ended up going to a Pirate game tonight with my mother. So that's why this video is coming late. So as I said on Twitter, we're going to get SummerSlam predictions tonight. Tomorrow night, we will get my special live stream of the week, which I'm going to be ranking all 30 of the SummerSlams from 30 to 1. But tonight, we're going to do my SummerSlam preview predictions. And hopefully, this is a good stream because I'm in a foul mood today, guys, because I just went to a Pirate game. We lost to the Cubs, 1-0. And let me tell you a little bit of a joke here. Knock, knock. Who's there? Owen. Owen who? 0-4 because the Pirates are now 0-4 when I'm in attendance this year. Okay. Never mind. Sorry. This is a good new hat for me. I'm not going to spaz out about baseball here or that the Pirates, get hot and then they disappoint again, but not going to go there. We're here to talk about wrestling. Oh, and also, sorry to do this real quick, but before we get started here, come on, get up. There we go. Okay, switching the batteries. Sorry, I'm charging the batteries for my gig on Saturday. Also for the cameras, there's like 15 batteries or so here for me to charge. I'm going to change it here and there. Come on, get in there. Make sure it's charging right. Looks like we're good. Okay. Anyway, so guys, let's get rolling here, guys. This is as you can see, this is my SummerSlam 2018 preview and predictions video. We're going to take a look at all 13 of the matches on this card, which I, of course, will lay it out how I feel the matches shall be placed. It should be, put in order. As I've said how many times, card placement is very important. How they, put these matches. You don't want to burn the crowd out, too early that way, since, it's going to be 4, maybe 5 hour main show. Counting a 2 hour pre-show, 6 or 7 hours. I'm not going to spaz again, but so it's important to have good card placement. Last month's pay-per-view Extreme Rules, I thought for the most part had good card placement. Wasn't the blow of pay-per-view that blew you out of your shoes. It was still acceptable, and again, I still feel it was not a complete waste of money for me to attend live. So SummerSlam though does have potential to be a good show. If one, it has good card placement. A prime example of pay-per-view that had bad card placement, SummerSlam 2016. With John Cena and AJ Styles being like 4th on the card and everything else just couldn't touch it at all whatsoever. I'm not saying the match you had were bad, but you obviously want to get some of your, matches that people are not as excited for, but a good opening match at least started first, even though I feel like I may have not done the best choice for this one at all either. But we're going to get right into it, though. And let's talk about the predictions for SummerSlam 2018. Start first with the live chat. See who we got here. We've got Lauren. She said, hi, how was the game? We lost 1-0 by 8 notches with my mom and his crack jokes the whole time. She's thinking about doing her predictions sometime this week, hopefully. Probably this weekend needs to. She said she's sorry she missed the SmackDown review on Tuesday. No worries. She said, sorry, your Pirates lost. Sorry. That's all right. She doesn't even care about the kickoff show. I'm not going to be watching it either. New Day feels are so overpushed. They do something different though, because they're getting these title shots. Just like, okay, but it's nothing like that exciting. Their match should be on the pre-shows at the Cruiserweight Championship. And where is everyone else? I have no idea. I don't know where they're at, but it's fine if it's just you, Lauren, but hopefully more people will come in to discuss the predictions for SummerSlam 2018. I'll quickly just run through the pre-show matches because obviously most of them I don't really care about. B-Team versus the Revival for the Raw Tag Team Championships. B-Team, again, as I said, we continue to be this team that, are made to look like, they're getting lucky. And I feel like, they're kind of doing a good job of that, like, as being entertaining in some ways, making themselves credible. That's their gimmick, then cool. But obviously, they didn't beat the Revival in a triple threat match. I guess that's why they're getting this tag team opportunity. I mean, I wish the Revival were booked a lot better than they were because they were awesome in NXT. Unfortunately, I don't see them win the titles here. I think the B team will retain here. B team, go, go, go. Don't like that song. But that's probably going to be the first match of the pre-show. The second match will be Rusev and Lana taking on Andrade, Cien Almas, and Zelina Vega. It's kind of in the storyline going on here involving, Aiden English, constantly, costing, Rusev and Lana opportunities. It's all started at Extreme Rules when Aiden English, CB wanted to cost Rusev winning the WWE Championship against AJ Styles. That was a really good match. I still gotta say, as it did make me feel that that Rusev could have had a chance to win that match. I really thought it made him look like he looks good in that match. It was a prime example of losing strong, which I was completely cool with that. But I think things will finally come to blows here. I think again, they're having considerations of seriously pushing Andrade Cien Almas, which again I'm fine with that. And he's not one of my favorites, but I do respect the talent he is, and he's gotten a lot better, and he has gotten more interesting to me as I feel. So I think he's gonna get the win right here. Of course, something happening with Aiden English, even though it's happened how many times, or maybe Rusev and Lana would win the match, and they still either way. I think this will be the end of Rusev Day for sure. With Rusev moving on from Aiden English, but I do think Andrade and Zelina win this mixed tag team match. And then finally, the match I wish would be on the main show, because I feel like this needs to be on the main show and not the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship match. But Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight Championship. Now, I love Cedric Alexander. He's awesome. But I feel like, even before he won the title, he was kind of in a position where it's like he felt like at this point he didn't really need to have the title. It felt like it was a big kaboom surprise. He's the champion and whatnot. We already knew he was champion level material. So I'm hoping is maybe it's time to move Cedric Alexander on to other things besides the Cruiserweight division. Again, get him into a mid-card title feud or something like that afterwards. It made me think of something also, but I'll talk about when I get to that match later on. We talk about it. But again, Cedric Alexander obviously deserves a lot more than the Cruiserweight division. And I feel like, they've invested a lot of time in Drew Gulak ever since Triple H took over. I mean, they have, of course, Buddy Murphy, not as much in Hideo Itami, but a lot in him too. Mustafa Ali, a lot of people. I feel like, Drew Gulak has had a lot of, investment in making him feel the most credible out of a lot of the other performers as well. So I think Cedric Alexander will drop his Cruiserweight Championship to Drew Gulak. Probably by submission, but passing out, not tapping out, to the Gulak. And I think Drew Gulak become the new Cruiserweight champion. He could get his rematch down the line, but I think it's time he moves on to Cedric Alexander, to like SmackDown or Raw. And I will say SmackDown because I'll mention why, kind of in a later prediction. So anyways, actually, let me go change something really fast here. Let's see here. I want to change my prediction for this match, actually. Then live chat, let me see here. Her predictions are Shinsuke, AJ, Becky, Seth, Finn, the B Team, the Bludgeon Brothers, Brock, and Ronda. And she's going to go walk her dog. She said she'll be back. That's completely fine, Lauren. Catching a little bit. But yeah, so my results for the pre-show, I'm predicting the B Team retaining, Almas and Vega winning the mixed tag match, and Rusev Day imploding, and then Drew Gulak wins the Cruiserweight Championship over Cedric Alexander. And I have a prediction for Cedric Alexander later on, though, in these predictions. For the main show, I think we'll open up with a match that, don't really care about too much about it, but, it's a match that, just get out of the way. The Bludgeon Brothers versus the New Day. I was more interested in seeing maybe the Bludgeon Brothers and, Sanity, or Bludgeon Brothers and the Bar, even though they're heel tag teams. But I feel like, just New Day getting the opportunity at an A show pay-per-view right now just doesn't really feel too fresh. I mean, I've been happy with what New Day have done, but again, they are starting to feel a little flat. Like I feel like, they should focus them more on singles feuds. If they want to keep them together, then, I think either turn them heel, or again, have them go in singles, like Big E getting some time to spot, or Kofi, or even Xavier or something. I mean, if they really want to keep them becoming eventually one day becoming, has the most reigns as tag team championships, then okay, but you gotta think, try to book them like worthy in between. That's why it may be better off for them to, have some of them against singles, getting some singles runs, like Big E, like they're bringing, the Intercontinental or United States Championship into, their stable and whatnot. I mean, they could do that also. I mean, I didn't really think of that when I thought of another feud for after SummerSlam, but I really think that this is just going to be a typical match we see from the Bludgeon Brothers. I mentioned, they're awesome. Don't get me wrong, but all the matches are just squash matches. They feel no different than facing jobbers and whatnot. So I think New Day is gonna beat the Bludgeon Brothers. The Bludgeon Brothers will retain here against the New Day and still be your SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. So that's what I'm predicting for the opening match. Bludgeon Brothers retaining. I know he's in the live chat. That's fine. So we got that. My second match, I feel like this match is going to be second because of the effect it'll play later on in the night. Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens in the Money in the Bank contract on the line, and Owens can win by count out, disqualification, knockout, pinfall, submission, whatever. This match, obviously, the match at Extreme Rules was just Braun Strowman wanting to hurt Kevin Owens. Some people don't understand why they're feuding. It kind of made sense a little bit to me because Kevin Owens was constantly targeting Braun Strowman in the lead up to the Money in the Bank ladder matches, seeing him as the biggest threat. Unfortunately, his plans did not work, and Braun Strowman may have come out looking strong out of the steel cage match, but unfortunately, Kevin Owens technically won the match because he was thrown off of the top of the cage and he landed outside. So now Braun Strowman is taking advantage of that he's able to be Owens is able to beat Strowman a different way besides pinfall or submission. So, why not beat him in the mind games and try to steal his Money in the Bank contract? Now, the thing is they've had how many segments where like Kevin Owens, was succeeding as Braun Strowman lost how many times to Jinder Mahal by a dirty finish. And, it could seem like, Owens, Strowman has something to overcome with the mind games of Owens. But then again, that could make Owens look like an idiot. But Kevin Owens winning this match by count out or disqualification or whatnot could make Strowman look like an idiot in some ways too. So but either way, I still feel that Braun Strowman does not need the Money in the Bank briefcase unless he's going to cash in on retaining Brock Lesnar, which I want to give my prediction for that match later on. But I just don't think Braun Strowman needs a Money in the Bank briefcase. So I think it's going to be Kevin Owens winning it, having a little bit of a swerve there. And we'll talk about Kevin Owens a little bit later on in the show. So I think Kevin Owens will win with some type of dirty finish. Hopefully Jinder Mahal does not get involved. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Shanti. No, I'm not even going there again. So I think Kevin Owens will win the Money in the Bank briefcase off of Braun Strowman by a dirty finish, of course. But we'll talk about Owens a little bit later on as well in this show. Warren's not back yet. That's okay. So let's go on to match number 3, which I think is going to be the triple threat match for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship match. I'm very surprised this is the only multi-person match we got. I really thought they were going to make the U.S. title a triple threat, and a few others. I thought we were going to make multiple man, but I'm glad this is the only one. Even though it's still a little odd, but I kind of see the direction you're going here with this. So Carmella is defending her SmackDown Live Women's Championship against Becky Lynch and Charlotte. Strangely enough, though, both Becky and Charlotte have each beaten Carmella. But the story here is Becky Lynch has been racking up wins after win after win lately, and she's earning her spot back up the ladder in the main event of the women's division on SmackDown. So, obviously, she won her match against Carmella to qualify, but Charlotte came back and, Carmella talked trash on Charlotte because she beat Charlotte twice. The second one was clean. It wasn't too convincing, and it kind of made Charlotte kind of weak. And then the first time was when she cashed in on her after a vicious beatdown by the Iconics, who, again, no offense, are not a complete joke now. And no, I have not yet looked into what Dave Meltzer said about Peyton Royce. I want to look into that, though, and maybe get my thoughts on that. I'm not sure. But anyways, so it's obviously that, two women who we obviously know can beat Carmella. However, the question here is who is, obviously I don't see Carmella coming out of this match for the championship. Now it's tough here. I could see Charlotte winning and Becky Lynch turning heel on Charlotte. I mean, yes, the seeds are kind of planted there because, Becky's finally gotten that momentum back, but then Charlotte steps in and takes the spotlight from her. I still feel like, Becky Lynch has the babyface momentum going, and people want to see Becky overcome the odds. Like, people should be, a little aggravated. Okay, the face of heel, I guess I've said here, still feels like that, people should be, mad that Charlotte's stepping in and getting another opportunity where Becky Lynch has had to work her way back up the ladder to get to, this opportunity. Charlotte steps back in and she gets an opportunity. However, here's the thing. One, Charlotte is obviously a lot better as a heel. I mean, she's still fine as a baby face, but I feel like she's on a whole nother level, and not just one of the best women, but one of the best superstars on the entire main roster as a heel. I do get the fact that, a Becky and Charlotte feud with Charlotte as the heel is not different because we've seen that before. However, though, I still feel it could be the right path to go here. Because obviously they're setting up for a match between Becky and Charlotte at Evolution. So I'll say this. One of them could turn at SummerSlam, but I don't think it will happen yet. I think they may wait a little bit longer to do the turn, which is okay. I feel like they still have a little bit more to, to boil up between these two a little bit before, one of them snaps. But I think either way, I think the right move here is to give the title to Becky Lynch, I feel at least. Becky Lynch wins the championship here. And let's say, she pins Charlotte for it instead of Carmella. Because we know they could beat Carmella. That's no secret at all whatsoever. So we see Becky Lynch win by pinning Charlotte, I'd say. And becoming the new SmackDown Live Women's Champion. That's my prediction for the triple threat match. The next match I have, now this is one I changed my prediction for. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jeff Hardy for the United States Championship. Extreme Rules. You see that in a one-on-one match, but it ended in just a few seconds as, Nakamura hit a low blow on Hardy before the match started, and then him with the King Shasta before Randy Orton returning, staring down Nakamura and doing a weak kind of assault on Jeff Hardy. But then in the rematch, the next episode of SmackDown, Orton came out and pulled that vicious assault, pulling on the ear of Jeff Hardy, and then if he was releasing the Enigma, because, Orton feels as a legend, he doesn't receive the respect he deserves. I was very surprised, though, Orton was not added to this match. But I obviously think he's going to cause an interference in some way in this match. And it's going to, set for maybe a Hell in a Cell match between these two at Hell in a Cell next month. I mean, at first I thought Jeff Hardy was going to win the championship because I at first did not see who else Shinsuke Nakamura could face. I mean, maybe Rusev, but Rusev, becoming U.S. champion is just he's been champion like, 3 or 4 times now with the U.S. title. It just doesn't feel fresh and feel like, he's, getting anywhere different by being U.S. champion again. So I honestly think I wouldn't mind seeing Hardy and Orton feud for the U.S. title, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'm still leaning towards Shinsuke retaining. And the person who I think Shinsuke Nakamura could feud with next for the United States Championship, Cedric Alexander. I said before, I feel like, Drew Gulak has been, groomed. I feel like, the most, like they've invested in him a lot. One of his characters been one really invested in ever since Triple H took over. And I feel, Cedric Alexander, had a run with the Cruiserweight Championship. I feel like he doesn't really need the Cruiserweight Championship to prove how good he really is. So that's why I'd say, put the Cruiserweight Championship on Gulak, and then have Cedric Alexander come over to SmackDown Live, and he could be the one next to feud with Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States Championship. So that's what I'm going to go with there. And Jeff Hardy will go on to feud with Randy Orton and have a Hell in a Cell match at Hell in a Cell. That's my prediction for the United States Championship match. So we got that. Then we got Finn Balor versus Constable Baron Corbin. Kind of want to put this match a little bit higher up on the card, but with the Money in the Bank contract being on the line, I wanted to put that as the first Raw match, which I made put that second because obviously I feel either way, whoever wins that match, there's going to be a cash-in involved in the main event. Whether it's if it's a real cash-in or if it just doesn't go as planned, not failed, though of course not a failed cash-in. if Brock Lesnar would, just, beat Roman and, beat whoever tries to cash in on him, that'd just be stupid. It would just be ridiculous. It would feel just a complete giant waste of time once again. But anyways, we're not there yet. We're not there. Getting way offline. We're now talking about the match between Finn Balor and Constable Baron Corbin. Okay, I mean, these two can put on, acceptable matches, but the story's just been bad. Like, it's having Corbin sound like an idiot saying the itsy bitsy spider about Finn Balor, creating Finn's funhouse, and it's not doing anything for either one of them. Yes, again, they could put on I still think they put on, a solid match at SummerSlam, but the story behind this is awful. My thing is just end this feud and move Finn Balor on to the IC title pictures. I think Finn Balor will defeat Constable Baron Corbin and go on to feud with Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship. Kind of spoil my resolve for the Intercontinental Championship match, but I will talk about that very shortly. So I was going to say Finn Balor will defeat Constable Baron Corbin again and then go on to become the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship match. So speaking of which, actually, we're going to talk about the IC title next. I've already kind of discussed, in the talk video I posted last night about, what I think should happen with this match at SummerSlam. But next is the match between Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins. Drew McIntyre is in the corner of Dolph Ziggler, and of course, the returning Dean Ambrose in the corner. Oh, wait, hold on. I said Drew McIntyre is in Dolph Ziggler's corner, and then Dean Ambrose will be in Seth Rollins' corner this Sunday to even up the odds. Because ever since, Dolph Ziggler snuck that win over Seth Rollins, I was so surprised he did that the night after, the Raw after Money in the Bank, and they had the Iron Man match, which, again, wasn't bad, but with my stupid crowd hijacking the show, counting down after every single minute. Unfortunately, that main event match would not go as good as, we all had hoped for. So them having just another one-on-one match felt a little bit backwards, but the spice in this match is the people are in each other's corners, and especially Dean Ambrose. And as I mentioned last night, Dean Ambrose has a new look. He's been due for a heel turn for quite some time now, and I think they need to do it now. I mean, I mentioned if they put the Shield back together again, maybe they'll feud the Undisputed Era. However, though, after that feud, the heel turn is not going to feel as important. The iron is hot here, as I mentioned last night. Dean Ambrose, again, as some people mentioned in their other videos, I'm not going to take full credit for this. Dean Ambrose should be feeling like for him to turn heel, claim that he never fully trusted Seth Rollins. He was the one who first imploded the Shield, and then when he finally trusts him again, yes, they won the Raw tag titles, but then things happened that was it Seth's fault? Was Seth the one who took the pin? I think he was the one who took the pin after not paying attention in the match. I lost them the Raw tag titles. And then because of Seth's carelessness, he could blame Rollins for its injury and be offended at the fact that Rollins replaced Ambrose with Jason Jordan. Dean Ambrose was a workhorse. He probably worked the most nights out of anybody for the past 4 years or whatnot before he suffered his triceps tear. And because of that, it was the first time in his career Ambrose was out with a long-term injury. And of course, he can claim it's only been about Seth all this time. He only got back together with Seth because it's what Seth felt was best. He only came back to be in Seth's corner for Seth's sake. You can claim Seth's never done anything for him, which I said last night. What makes a heel great is that they have to lay some truth in there somewhere. And that, you can honestly believe that, has, Dean Ambrose teaming up with Seth Rollins, has that hindered his career or whatnot. And now he's out to get revenge on Seth Rollins. That's why he's going to cost Seth Rollins the Intercontinental Championship match this Sunday, hitting him with a steel chair, just like the way, Rollins turned his back on Ambrose 4 years ago, and how Rollins offered to let Ambrose hit him in the back with the chair last summer. So that's what needs to happen again. The iron is hot. The new look for Dean Ambrose again. Sunday is the perfect moment for Dean Ambrose to pull off that heel turn. Not a few months down the line. Yes, maybe you might want to. This match should have that WrestleMania. It definitely should have. Unfortunately, it was not the case because of the injury. But again, the iron is so hot here for the Ambrose heel turn. It's the perfect opportunity. Yes, people are happy he's back, but however, he doesn't have like a full babyface momentum going right now. Because obviously, you know, as he mentioned in one of his podcasts, I mentioned in my video about Dean Ambrose, he mentioned that, you know, you got to have like, you know, have your best act before you walk off stage, as he said. And Ambrose has had his best act. There's nowhere else for him to go as a babyface. So the iron is hot. Turn him heel. Seriously, WWE could ruin this whole long-term plan if they don't turn Ambrose this Sunday. Because if they throw it back to get the Shield back together again, it's not going to feel the same because Ambrose is going to break up the Shield again, and it's just going to feel like, you know, oh, they get back together and they break up. Like, why do we take him seriously? Just having him just, you know, take out his anger on one person is completely fine. It's Seth Rollins. So that's why, again, Dolph Ziggler is going to retain the championship because Dean Ambrose costs Seth Rollins. Rollins and Ambrose will feud in the fall with the roles reversed. Maybe a Hell in a Cell match, not sure. But you know, Ambrose is not going to let, you know, Rollins get that victory, pretty much. And as I said before, have Finn Balor and Dolph Ziggler feud for the Intercontinental Championship in the fall. As I said before, I think Balor is going to overcome Constable Corbin, and that will give him into the IC title picture. That's my prediction. Dolph Ziggler retains the Intercontinental Championship due to Dean Ambrose turning heel on Seth Rollins this Sunday. It has to happen, I feel. Has to happen. The iron is hot. Again, WWE, if you, again, not on Raw on Monday, not on Raw the following Monday, not at Hell in a Cell, this Sunday, you have to pull the trigger on the Dean Ambrose heel turn. I am dead serious about that. So that is my prediction and my bold statement regarding that. Let's check the live chat. Let me see here. Lauren's back. She likes the B team. Robbie said, remember 2 years ago when Finn Balor became the inaugural Universal Champion? Oh, what a horrible fall from grace 2 years later. Shaking his damn head. Oh, yeah, exactly, Robbie. Rusev and Lana are better than being on a kickoff show. She does not like Vega and Almas. Completely fine. She thinks there's going to be Rusev and Lana winning, which could be so. Lana, I still feel is definitely face. Rusev is always back and forth. One moment he is, next moment he isn't. So, again, I'm just waiting to see the long-term planning after whereas what happens to officially say Rusev being a face. Yeah, Drew should win. I agree. Did you hear Neville could be returning according to Triple H's comments? Yeah, because I think Triple H is interested in having him becoming part of the WWE UK NXT or something that, which I would definitely be interested in seeing wrestle some UK wrestlers. The turn thing is happening at SummerSlam, either Becky or Dean. If Becky doesn't win the title, I feel she'll snap on Charlotte. They could have it then, or again, you know, since I feel like they haven't boiled that pot too much yet, maybe they could wait a little bit longer because Dean turn, it definitely has to happen someday. The one with Becky could happen, or Becky or Charlotte could happen, but I feel like, you know, they can still wait a couple weeks and it'd still be all right. Do you like Drake Maverick as a GM? I think he plays the role of GM awesome because he makes these superstars in these matches he's making them feel like, you know, something is important about them, as I feel. So I definitely really do like Drake Maverick as 205 Live's GM. She thinks Orton will cost Jeff the title as well. Did you see the matches happening at SummerSlam 1000? It's Orton BS, Orton versus Jeff, AJ versus Joe, and Bryan versus Miz. I think I saw that. She thinks Bryan's going to win against the Miz. Robbie says, how does Finn go from contending for Universal title 2 years ago to being a pointless feud with Constable Corbin? Not sure. Again, the matches, I know they can put on good matches, Corbin and Balor. But again, this story just absolutely sucks. Just Corbin picking on Balor for being a little guy, called him Itsy Bitsy Balor. Please tell me I did not hear that segment, or again the Finn's Funhouse thing. This is not my worst feud of the year, but it is definitely, I'd say, in the top 5 for worst feuds of 2018. Just a spoiler so far when we get to the end of the year video, Robbie. But yeah, I agree. How does this happen to Finn Balor? He never got his rematch, and I don't understand why. I mean, when Seth Rollins first came back in 2016 after his long injury, he got his rematch right away. Why didn't Balor get it? Why? Because Brock Lesnar's champion. Cut me a break. Oh, man. Did you hear about the 6-man tag match advertised for a live Raw? Is Lashley, Cena, and Balor versus Elias, Corbin, and Jinder. Ugh, it's awful. Finney's going to SmackDown. I agree. Feud with Styles would be, yeah, I like that. With Joe and Orton, I'd be for that. Rusev, sure. Jeff and Cena, I think so. Who's a better GM, Maverick or Regal? I mean, well, since he's been the longer GM, I'd say Regal, but I definitely do really like Drake Maverick. She also thinks Owens is defeating Strowman as well. Braun's never deserved that briefcase. He never really needed it, I don't think. Yeah, Corbin saying Itty Bitty Balor disgusts me. Lashley is defeating Elias. Well, now there's not a match scheduled yet, but apparently there's rumor having he may do a little concert this Sunday. Could we see, or could we possibly hear, finally, The Rock has come back to Brooklyn? And also, finally, The Rock has come back to SummerSlam. There's been rumors of Rock possibly having a match at WrestleMania 35. Could this be, his return and having a face-to-face confrontation with Elias? I'm not saying Elias be his opponent, but could that be the case? Rather see that than another Elias and Bobby Lashley segment. Oh my goodness, poor Bobby Lashley. I still feel so bad, but really, I still feel like he should leave after what has transpired with him the past month. I'd say. Do you think Dean or Becky is charged? She's asking Robbie. She hated Charlotte's promo about the women's division, although it was complete burn on Carmella's character pretty much. And yes, Divas have been asking for this for 10 years. I do agree. Change their names. Robbie says, I hope Becky turns heel and wins the title because she deserves it so much more than Charlotte. That's what she feels. Me again, Becky deserves it more than Charlotte. I'm saying, but again, my thing is, I still feel that, again, the dynamic is weird because people want to see Becky win. Again, I know heels can be cheered, but at the same time, who's the sympathy really being built on more, Becky or Charlotte here? Because I feel like, it'd be on Becky, and people would want to see her, beat up Charlotte for, Charlotte kind of step into her spotlight. Because, Becky had to get all these wins to get back on top. As soon as Charlotte came over to SmackDown last year, she was getting opportunities left and right. But that's just my opinion, though. I mean, if they do turn Becky heel again, I'd be interested to see what happens with it. But again, I still feel that there's still a lot of babyface momentum left in Becky Lynch's character. Again, Dean Ambrose just needs that heel turn more than ever right now. Charlotte should never turn face, and Becky is a better athlete than Charlotte. She feels, yeah. I mean, they're both great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't hate Charlotte either, but I just, I feel Becky needs this win more. Like Charlotte, I feel pretty much is set. Like Charlotte, yeah, she used another title win here and there. I think Charlotte's already done everything she could do right now in her career. I feel like she solidified that when she beat Asuka. Like, I was completely fine with her beating Asuka at WrestleMania like she did. So Becky needs a title win. I still feel more than Charlotte. So that's what I'm going to say about that. Speaking, why are fans always cheering for Charlotte? It's so fake. Becky deserves this. I mean, again, Charlotte is definitely good. But yeah, I've already explained that. So yeah, Becky, I'm going to be meeting her next Friday at Santa Clara Toy Expo. I'm thinking of mentioning to her our famous phrase, Bex Plex City, bitch. Oh, I'm jealous of you, Robbie. I definitely look forward to hearing about that experience of meeting Becky Lynch. So definitely have a good chat with her, Robbie. She's like a very nice woman to meet. Lauren also thinks that Jeff is overpushed on SmackDown Live as well. Haven't seen too much to really say he's over pushed yet, in my opinion, but that's your opinion. Well respected. Let's move on to the next match, though. Keep stuff coming to live chat, though, guys. We have 4 more matches left to discuss. The next match, it may be nice. This match was the main event, but it's unfortunately not going to be the main event, but it's definitely going to be towards the end of the card. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship. Now, I know I've definitely heard the rumors that AJ Styles is apparently penciled in to defeat Samoa Joe in this match. However, again, I'm still going with Joe because I still feel Joe needs this more. again, just think about it. He's had some stable momentum up on the main roster that he didn't really need to prove too much when he came up. He was protected well. Yes, he lost at Payback to Seth Rollins, but the finish was maybe Rollins got lucky. I feel if AJ Styles would beat Samoa Joe in this match, it would be like a complete clear finish. It would be like a roll up out of nowhere or something like that. Because this feud seemed like it was going a different direction with this whole thing. Even though would AJ Styles really believe that his wife would turn on him like Samoa Joe's trying to get him to believe? But the way they ended that show, with that cliffhanger, this feud is not any close to being over anywhere at all. So I think that maybe Joe could get into Styles' head a little bit or something, and I think that Joe could win the championship. Because again, just think about this: he lost to Brock. He didn't win the Fatal 4-Way last year. Got injured, was out for a few months, came back, feuded with Roman Reigns for the IC title, had a great match on Raw earlier this year. Fortunately, he did not win that match. And then he was out again for 2 months after a foot injury. Came back, he lost to Roman Reigns again at Backlash. He got to Money in the Bank, yes, but he didn't win that. But he didn't take a pinfall or anything like that. And then he was counted out in the WWE No More Contenders tournament. And he also lost a match, a random kind of weak match to Rusev also. So I really feel Joe needs this more than Styles. I love AJ Styles. I'd be fine with they go all the way and making him being a longest reigning champion over Brock Lesnar. I'd be fine. I could be completely 100% fine with it. Because AJ deserves, because AJ actually defends that championship, unlike Brock. But we're not going to talk about him quite yet. But I still think that Joe needs it more. So that's why I'm going to say Joe. If Styles wins again, have it be from a roll up or something that's not going to make Joe look too weak. Because I just feel it's starting to get a little shaky for Joe, in my opinion. So Samoa Joe, I'm going to predict wins the championship off of AJ Styles at SummerSlam. Because according to Samoa Joe, AJ Styles is a bad daddy. That's my opinion. Let's see here. Did you hear about Orton's allegation? Yeah, I did. I still don't think it. I just don't think it's true. Because again, if that was the case, I'm sure it would have. Well, then again, how many other allegations like that have been revealed years down the line, such as the revealing of 99 priests apparently in my diocese. No, I'm not going to go. Not going to go there. Being revealed as sexual assaults, but not going to that. But my point is, I get stuff like that could be revealed, years and years and years down the line. Such as also with the thing with Joe Paterno and and Jerry Sandusky from Penn State recently. But I really don't think that's completely true. I think someone. If you said it to how many different writers, someone would have said something sooner. I felt that. Let's see here. Let's see here. I was surprised Orton wasn't added. Yeah, I was surprised he wasn't added either. Right, he will film an experience video. Awesome. About meeting Becky. She hated that the WWE spoiled the Hell in a Cell match. Me too. Do you know SmackDown Live's dark match? It was Styles, Gallows, and Anderson versus Joe, Nakamura, and Orton, and the faces won. The heel team was better. Interesting. And Finn definitely deserves better. Yes, get him back on track, Vince, please. And yeah, I heard. Okay, so Peyton Royce got pissed off at Dave Meltzer because he called her prettier back in NXT. Peyton has always been pretty. I definitely agree. She is very attractive. I don't like Meltzer at all. He always thinks he's the best at everything. He just needs to, have something to talk about him all the time, wants the attention. But yeah, I definitely didn't hear the full story about what happened with Dave Meltzer and Peyton Royce. That's ridiculous. Peyton Royce is definitely a beautiful young woman. So shame on him for saying that. Seth versus Dean for the Intercontinental Championship needs to be a Hell in a Cell, and Dean needs to win, especially as a heel. It is for the IC title. It could be, again, I think it would be more effective to have Dean cost the IC title, Seth the IC title match at SummerSlam. But if they make it a match with Seth and Dean, then cool. Or if Dean can say, I helped Seth Rollins claim what was his, and then I just ripped it right away from him or something like that. So that could be the case there. Styles made history. I don't know what history he means. I think it was he made history as the longest reigning SmackDown champion. I think in SmackDown history, I think that's what he made history for. I think he run the idea to Becky Lynch about straight fire pineapple strawberry ice cream. Nice. And Lauren said she'd pay for that. That would be awesome. Yes, Robbie. Just don't be as weird as this one fan who literally. Okay, so quick little story here. So a couple years ago, I think it was in 2015 because the story finishes the night I met Daniel Bryan in 2016. But back in 2015, it was in July. We had a house show here, which I don't want to go to just regular house shows anymore. I feel like they're not a waste of time. So I was sitting there. It was me, my friend Dan, which Robbie knows, and Dan's friend Sam. And there was some guy sitting next to me. He must have had some type of disability or something, which, I know he has disabilities, but the guy was just bothering me the whole time, screaming in my ear, going, hashtag this, hashtag this, hashtag this. And also he spit on me too, which is kind of disgusting. But he kept saying how badly he wanted Paige's bosom. And when I went back to meet Daniel Bryan months later in January 2016, I saw that same guy there again. I was there with Dan. And the guy noticed us, and we're just like trying to pretend we're not even looking at him. Like Dan brought the Daniel Bryan's not documentary biography, and he was just every time we were just like because every time we like cross by each other and like in the line, we'd always like be right there with him. He always tried talking to us, so we were just we were distracted by something else. And then I heard him saying, "Yeah, I want to ask Daniel Bryan how good Paige's bosom is," and I'm just like, oh God, literally when it was his turn, I couldn't look. I did not look at all when he went up there. But I just heard Daniel Bryan just chuckle. But anyways, very off topic, but yes, don't go too crazy there. Whatever the heck we were talking about before. 9.99, Michael. Exactly, 9.99. But anyways, let's move on now. As I shared that random story, I don't know why I did, but anyways, speaking of women, let's get to the Raw Women's Championship match: Alexa Bliss versus Ronda Rousey. I get it; it's still maybe a little too soon to put the title on Ronda as possible, but I feel that taking it off of Alexa Bliss would be a better idea than taking it off of Nia Jax. I just didn't think, I mean, yes, Alexa Bliss, I know, is not really under the best, I know a lot of people again, don't like Alexa Bliss because in fact she's getting a lot of opportunities. I agree. Alexa Bliss got the championship back way too soon. The Nia Jax experiment was with her having the championship, but I feel like Ronda Rousey being Alexa Bliss will be more credible. I mean, I do wonder maybe they will have like Natalya or someone, or like even Ember Moon maybe turn on Ronda to cost her a championship, but Alexa Bliss does not need that title. I mean, they need to take a break from Alexa Bliss in the women's main event for a while. I still think her heel character is kind of running into the ground. Like it's not bad, but it's just like she's done all she could. It feels like. I personally feel that just put the title on Ronda. I'm pretty sure she'll defend it at every single pay-per-view. So I think Ronda Rousey is going to beat Alexa Bliss for a championship. Yes, I know they've kind of been having, Ronda get the upper hand on Alexa every single time. It's looking obvious that we know Ronda could beat Alexa. My thing is just get it over with. Just get it over with. Just put. I mean, I just say get it over with. So I wouldn't be completely upset with Ronda winning championship. I think it's time to put the championship on Ronda Rousey, and then don't know who will win it off. Or I mean, maybe she'll face Charlotte at WrestleMania next year. We'll see what happens. But Ronda Rousey, I think, is going to win the Raw Women's Championship off Alexa Bliss this Sunday. How about 1999? If they ever return, what is the point of the new look? Exactly. And she also thinks that Finn needs to turn heel and feud with Roman. That'd be interesting. I really thought they were going to turn Finn heel earlier this year because it seemed like there was something brewed up between Seth and Finn, because it seemed like every time Finn was about to grab the opportunity, Rollins would get to it instead, and it looked like Finn could finally get frustrated because Rollins was who got him injured, and cost him the vacated Universal title, and every time he feels getting closer, Rollins just swoops right by him. So I thought this was going to be the case there. Would be cool to see it happen, but I don't think it's going to be happening soon. But that would be a good idea. Have a feud with Roman. She actually likes Carmella and Becky better than Charlotte. Again, I don't hate Carmella either. I mean, I just feel like they've definitely taken away some of her repertoire with her wrestling because all she does is super kick people. But she's great on microphone. She doesn't really like Charlotte, to be honest. I did until she got over pushed. She felt. Do you have the no cards like Byron Saxton? LOL. Well, I mean, I still have a bunch of no cards. Right here, back when I needed no cards senior year of high school. I don't say $9.99 on them, but I could, use, the no cards. But yeah, or like no cards when Mick Foley used to issue his apology that he was not saying from himself. It was because of what Stephanie McMahon wanted him to say. But yeah, I have no cards here, definitely. The great one makes it look easy. Haha, yes. The great ones make it look easy because we are great. But yeah, so I think Alexa Bliss will drop the title to Ronda Rousey. Last two matches. The second to last match that's going to happen is Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. Of course, this has been a match waiting to happen for years. Yes, they faced off probably here and there on Raw or whatnot. They feuded for the U.S. title back in 2010. Whole story with rookie proof that he's better than his pro. But of course, these two have still been going to throw how many years, and it got to even extreme levels again in 2016 on Talking Smack. And now that Daniel Bryan's back wrestling full time, now he's been looking to eventually get his hands on The Miz and literally punch him in the face. The story has been brewing up so great, but I still feel like it's still in first gear. This feud needs to continue somehow. I really thought this would have been a career-threatening match. I mean, maybe it might not be yet, but I think, obviously, The Miz needs to win here. I think The Miz needs to win more than Daniel Bryan. This feud has to continue on more and more. I keep pitching the idea. I mean, they do that SmackDown Live 1000. There has to be a point where, they stack all the odds on Daniel Bryan with this feud because it's going to help The Miz escalate into the main event scene, as I feel he definitely deserves to be, and Daniel Bryan as well getting back on track in the main event scene as well since coming back. I mean, he's been fine since coming back, but this is going to make just another average wrestler back up to the main event scene again, being a legitimate hot act again. So that's why I feel, there has to be something that's at the odds. So The Miz wins this match. And then maybe a SmackDown Live 1000. Maybe that be the career-threatening match. And then as I keep pitching the idea, Daniel Bryan needs to return and win the Royal Rumble and the WWE Championship, which The Miz would be champion by then to get his job back, I feel. So something's happened, but either way, I think The Miz is going to win this match because there's no way this feud's going to be a one-off match. No way the feud needs to be a one-off match. This feud has to have a series of matches, have a nice, long story, culminating at WrestleMania 35. That's what I think it needs to happen. That's why I think The Miz will win this match some way, somehow. WWE needs to hire new writers, hire hashtag Mike, Lauren, and Mike or Robbie. Let's call WWE and complain. Yes, definitely. Haha. Because we can come up with genius ideas as we are so much better than all those head writers. Except for guys like Ryan Ward, Jimmy Jacobs, who was Chris Jericho's personal writer, and a few others I don't know off of my head here and there that actually aren't bad writers at all. But yeah, get Road Dogg out of there because Raw sucks. Anyway, so that's my prediction. The Miz will beat Daniel Bryan, I think. And then finally, the match nobody absolutely cares about. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the 4th time for the Universal Championship. Here's the thing. I don't think it's the fact that I'm just upset about Roman Reigns being this match. I think I'm just tired of this whole feud in general. This match right there, as I said, the reason why Roman Reigns gets heat is because Roman Reigns represents Vince McMahon saying, screw you all, this is how we're going to do it. This is exactly the same exact thing. This whole feud with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Literally the same story recycled from WrestleMania. Act like it started all over again and whatnot. This feud's not on any other extra levels. My thing is, obviously, unless Roman Reigns wins this match, at this point, there wasn't a reason to have another match after they won WrestleMania 34. My thing is just give the belt to Roman, but we don't have to see this match happen again. But Roman Reigns probably will kick out like 10 F5s. Just have him win the match. Get the belt off Brock, but then Kevin Owens, who won earlier night, will cash in and pin Roman for the championship. I mean, maybe Brock will F5 him again or something after the match, and then Owens comes out and, cashes in and wins, whatnot. But here's the thing, though. If there is a cash in, as I keep saying, do not repeat the heist of the century. If something happens, that would be the case. Whether it is Braun Strowman or Kevin Owens, have them pin Brock Lesnar. Pin Brock Lesnar. There is no need for this man to be protected anymore whatsoever. And after you lose Brock, hit the road and go back to UFC. Just please get out. Get out. And then my idea is obviously Roman Reigns wants rematch, but in order to not make Braun Strowman look like a complete stupid idiot either, claim that Owens didn't beat him. He just beat him in the mind games and whatnot. That's how he got his title. So I would say probably at Hell in a Cell, a triple threat match for Universal Championship with Owens, Reigns, and Strowman. That's my long-term prediction, and probably one of them will beat Owens there. Who knows? But that's my long-term prediction, or maybe a fatal four-way because Lashley will claim that he's 1-1 against Roman Reigns, but we're supposed to forget about that now because Reigns and Lashley are best buddies now. Do not care at all whatsoever. But that's our prediction for the main event. Let's go over my predictions one more time. I'll check out in the live chat, and then we will sign out here. Guys, again, thanks again for being patient with me. I just had a lot chasing around to do today. It's just been such a busy week. This has literally been probably like my busiest video gig this year yet. So I had so much to prepare for it. But I'm just looking forward to this one being over me. Excited for it, as well as always, but it's one I'm just looking forward to saying I did it, I completed it, I'm done. But let's look at these predictions again. Okay, B team retaining. Almas and Vega over Rusev and Lana, and Rusev Day imploding. Drew Gulak will defeat Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight Championship. On the main show, Bludgeon Brothers retaining. Owens wins with a dirty finish to become new Mr. Money in the Bank. Becky wins the championship by pinning Charlotte because we've already seen her pin. Then both pin Carmella. I think Nakamura will retain the U.S. Championship, and as I keep pitching the idea, having Cedric Alexander go to SmackDown, and he feuds with Shinsuke Nakamura at Hell in a Cell for the U.S. title. Of course, Hardy and Orton will continue to feud in the Hell in a Cell. Balor beats Corbin, goes on to feud for the IC title. Dolph Ziggler defeats Seth Rollins due to Dean Ambrose turning on Rollins. Samoa Joe wins the title off of Styles. Ronda Rousey wins the title off of Alexa Bliss. The Miz defeats Daniel Bryan, and then Roman Reigns will defeat Brock Lesnar, but then Kevin Owens will cash in, and Kevin Owens will end SummerSlam 2018 as Universal Champion. So the show's potential. I don't get my hopes up too high, but I do expect at least a solid show from this SummerSlam this year. That's my thoughts. That's why I honestly think what should happen. Live chat. Let's see. What we got here in the live chat here. Is Cena ever going back SmackDown or something like that? He could. She's surprised that Cena Taker isn't happening at SummerSlam. Rock is returning at SummerSlam. He only returns in his hometown, unfortunately. That is true. Vince is all hyped on that Roman Reigns juice. Oh, yes, he's drank too much. Did you see Roman's article about fans who hate him and he calls them closest lovers? I'm like, what the hell, Roman? I just like you even more now. You're just an asshole. Yeah, I know Roman's like the guy's like, just let me just be me, whatnot. I get those either way. Well, still that character is still not working because it is pretty much hindering the product. And as I said again, like until he gets that big moment against Brock Lesnar, Raw is on lockdown. That's all I got. That's why I keep saying Raw is on lockdown until Roman Reigns can get that big moment off Brock Lesnar. Nobody else is facing Brock Lesnar other than Roman Reigns. Asuka should just leave if she was her. I agree. She wants to meet Becky. Joe needs this. Styles needs to lose. Please, WWE. But I liked him though. She feels he's becoming stale. Carmelo won his heart by looking FABULOUS on SmackDown Tuesday and standing how she did on the announce tables and her heels. Oh yeah, she definitely is a beautiful woman as well. Lauren loves Mela. Heels make better champions in her opinion, except for the fact when they're booked to look like cowards all the time. That's the biggest problem I had. That's why I didn't like Kevin Owens' title run. Or, when Gallows and Anderson were tag champions. All they did was lose and look weak. So all heel champions do not have to be cowards and back away from back away from competition. My thing is, again, have them be dominating, but then have them eventually have a weakness exposed. That's what makes them interesting as heel champions. But again, what do I know? WWE doesn't care. Anything else? Before I forget, I'm going to a local APW show near where I live, and I'm going to meet James Ellsworth because Ellsworth is money. Duh! I should have made that fake graphic of myself versus Ellsworth for with Paige as a special guest referee for SummerSlam. But that's pretty cool. Again, I almost had a chance to see James Ellsworth live at IWC back in March, but I had to work that day, unfortunately. That'd be cool. Lauren doesn't think part-timers should be champions. It's unfair. I mean, my thing is as long as it's not long, then okay. But if it's like it's an extremely long title reign, then that's where I got a problem with part-timers being champions. Ellsworth, no chin, I know. Richmond will also be at tomorrow's show, so look forward to meeting him as well. Pretty darn awesome. Start dancing around like he does. It says, rest in peace, Arthea Franklin, Queen of Soul. Yeah, definitely rest in peace to her. I think that's pretty much it, guys. And as always, since he's live in the live chat, as always, guys, Robbie, One Kenobi, my good friend here on YouTube. Again, and would be saying this if I didn't believe in him, but I do believe in Robbie. He has a lot of great fantasy booking ideas. He's a genius, guys, and that's why we all like him. So please check out his channel and check out his fantasy booking videos on anything, even if it's stuff that, obviously can't happen now, but just see the great idea that it could have been. And then if you like what you see, please get hashtag please sign Robbie trending on Twitter. That way Robbie can one day kick Road Dogg's ass out of the head writer's seat and he can become a head writer and do just such a phenomenal job. Because it will once again be absolutely glorious. Let's check the chat one more time. Wasn't Swan released in WWE and added a TNA? Yes, he was. Hashtag please sign Robbie. And also hashtag Robbie wants ice cream. I want ice cream too. I should have gotten something at the game, but instead I got popcorn instead. After I ate my nachos. But yeah, guys, thank you to Lauren and Robbie for being a live chat. It's a fun time. Makes rush out the bad taste not being 0-4 when I attended PNC Park this year. But thank you guys again for your predictions. As always, in his Jericho voice, Paige is a drunk. Paige is a drunk. Hit me, Mike. Hit me in the head. Oh, Robbie, you cracked me up, man. I would never do that to you, Robbie, unless you did something that grave to me. But yeah, Robbie, Lauren, love you guys. You guys are awesome. Again, enjoy this weekend, guys. Again, I will not be able to watch TakeOver tomorrow or on Saturday. Again, if I get home at a decent time, because I have to get up early Sunday, maybe I'll catch like the first match or two. And then I will review SummerSlam as soon as I get home from Dan's on Sunday. And Monday, I will finish watching TakeOver and review TakeOver as well. And back on the regular schedule next week. Hopefully, Hell in a Cell Print Match card comes out next week sometime as well. So be on the lookout for that. As guys, we are just a couple days away from SummerSlam. Again, I don't have the highest expectations, but I'm expecting at least something intriguing out of this show. So Lauren, Robbie, again, thank you guys again for joining me in the live chat. As always, guys, if you like what you see, please click like and subscribe or content on my channel. Leave your predictions down in the comment section below. And if you want to follow me on Twitter and chat some wrestling or any other thing as well, be my friend, whatnot, follow me on Twitter at TheManAirboy93 as well. Guys, I'm checking out. Thank you guys again for tuning in live and for afterwards when this is not live. I'm checking out. I'm going to bed. I will see you guys all later at my next video, whenever it may be. So until then, guys, have a great night. Have a great weekend. Have a lot of fun watching both TakeOver and SummerSlam this weekend. So until then, guys, I'm out. Have a great rest of your night, and peace out, everybody.